Let's start with an overall concept. I face people every day who are at different levels of grief and trauma and are at different levels of trust. And we live in a town where there is a large section of our town who has been historically marginalized, who have been forgotten. So it's important to start with that. Mm-hmm. Now, where I'm going next is asking that trust that I talked about, us asking ourselves. By the way, when they talk about time moving on, we're only going to have ourselves. So that's why I'm excited about the 4 or 5 years from now when we're bonded in a way that I wish not as many, but not many towns are bonded. As far as moving forward, and let's talk infrastructure in particular, and utilities are a whole different ballpark. Yeah. But when we're talking infrastructure, there's a lot of ideas happening, and in some cases, they're not willing to walk through the door of collaboration. They kind of want to own what their thoughts are, and they don't think it's happening elsewhere. When a council member comes to me and they want to start a committee, the first thing I ask them to do is look at what's already existing. What's the community already doing? What organization is already working in the realm of renters? Because if we're going to have a committee, we need to be tapped into that. So here's the big ask. There's many people who don't trust county and don't trust what county's going to do and what they're putting together to imagine what we're doing here. I have my questions too. But what I've encouraged in county to do is look into the organizations that are imagining that infrastructure and imagining what they want it to be. Make sure you keep getting out there. And then what I'm asking residents to do is not throw out an organization or work that's already done. Let's put an example of the federal wanting to take over our rebuild and our permitting. That's a year's worth of work. If we ditch that, we're starting from square one all over again. Right. I've been asking residents to do the same thing. When you don't trust a county department, you're not going to throw it out. We're going to have to work with them. Let's figure out how to make it work. Let's figure out how to get our noses in there. And in the end, and this is where I'll wrap it up, is it's communication. The town council needs better communication because our job is to get the residents aware of what county's doing, but we are a completely volunteer organization and we don't have a budget. So we're reliant on making sure we have the streams that already exist in Altadena, on Facebook, on newsletters, on listservs. So we're constantly working for that. So any funding we've been getting, we've been putting back into a fund that goes directly to residents, and then we've been holding back little chunks to hopefully improve our communications. And none of it will be salaries, it's just all about improving our website, and that's what we're doing right now. So as far as moving forward, and as far as a safe way, and if you get to soil related, that's going to be about making sure you know what's going on already and starting to get a web going on. And Greg, I know you're working on that web. So, you asked me the other day, are you on board? I was already on board. So yeah, I'm right here.
Right.